Sit back and enjoy 2 hours of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get started.
Bombardier beetles belong to the Carabiidae family and use a unique defensive mechanism that consists of expelling a hot chemical mixture from the abdomen. This reaction generates a high-temperature explosion capable of repelling or killing insects. The mixture contains hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide, which when combined, reach temperatures close to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. They are carnivorous and feed on other invertebrates. Their range can exceed 8 inches.
This is a vein moving. In reality, it is a vein that shifts due to the movement of two fingers. Veins are thin and bluish in color because they carry poorly oxygenated blood. In contrast, arteries are thick and red because they carry oxygenated blood from the heart to the rest of the body.
Sperm whales sleep in a vertical position near the surface for short periods, usually between 10 and 20 minutes. During rest, some individuals may appear head down or tail up, although there is no formally recorded pattern. They are common in temperate and deep waters of all oceans. Their presence has been confirmed in the Mediterranean Sea and the Black Sea.
The phenomenon known as the death circle occurs when a group of ants begins following one another in a closed loop, losing the pheromone trail that normally guides their movement. This behavior has been observed in blind army ants and can last for hours or even days. The ants involved eventually die from exhaustion.
The seeds of the Triplaris americana tree, native to tropical America, have 3 reddish wings that allow them to disperse through the wind by a mechanism known as anemochory. Their shape resembles a badminton shuttlecock and is designed to promote a slow and controlled descent that facilitates germination in open areas. This pioneer species usually establishes itself in forest clearings or disturbed areas. Efficient dispersal is key to its colonization.
In Sagada, the Philippines, the Igorot ethnic group has practiced placing coffins on cliffs as part of an ancient funerary custom that seeks to symbolically bring the deceased closer to the sky and protect them from scavenging animals, a tradition that is still maintained in specific cases. Similar practices were documented in Yunnan, China, among the Bo people, where coffins were also suspended in elevated places as a sign of respect.
The caterpillar known as the pus caterpillar or asp, belonging to the species Megalopyge opercularis, inhabits regions from the United States to Colombia and is distinguished by its body covered in hair that hides venomous spines capable of causing intense pain upon contact, in some cases compared to that of a fracture. However, the reaction varies depending on individual sensitivity, and not everyone experiences severe symptoms, although discomfort such as nausea or swelling may occur. Despite its toxicity, no deaths have been reported, and avoiding any direct contact is advised.
Recorded in Denmark, this is a cinnamon bath. There is a belief that it brings good luck. It is known as the cinnamon ritual and consists of throwing kilograms of this powder over the head of a man or a woman when they have not managed to get married by the age of 25. It is an effective ritual, and it works, not because it brings you luck, but because it gives you publicity. And thanks to that, people in your community now know that you want to get married.
In Japan, a prototype called Katsugo bag has been introduced, designed to transport live fish until they are prepared in the kitchen. It functions as a portable capsule that keeps the fish in optimal conditions during transport. This device includes an oxygen saturation meter, a thermometer, and an integrated battery. The technique allows the fish to be kept fresh without the need for ice or conventional refrigeration. Its use is intended for specialized gastronomy.
In cities such as Dujiangyan, near Chengdu, crows have been documented dropping nuts onto pedestrian crossings so that cars crush them, then collecting the food during the red light. This behavior is considered deliberate tool use and demonstrates high cognitive ability. Recent studies indicate that certain birds, such as crows and parrots, have a neuronal density higher than that of many primates, allowing them to perform complex tasks. These birds show long-term memory, causal reasoning, and problem-solving.
After an intense soccer match, it is not uncommon to observe a man releasing steam from his head while resting. This phenomenon, which might seem surprising, is actually a completely normal physiological process. When the human body performs strenuous exercise, its internal temperature rises considerably. When exposed to an environment with a temperature lower than the body relies on thermoregulation, releasing water vapor through the skin as an efficient way to dissipate heat and return to its optimal temperature.
In 2020, the Turkish YouTuber Enes Yilmaz performed a paragliding flight from Alanya, Turkey, using a bed equipped with a stool, a lamp, an alarm clock, blankets, and a pillow. All the furniture was firmly secured to the paraglider, allowing the entire setup to fly at more than 2,625 feet of altitude. For about 15 minutes, the young man remained lying down and calm while being filmed from the ground. The flight concluded with a smooth landing on Cleopatra Beach in front of curious tourists. The video went viral due to how unusual and seemingly dangerous the stunt was.
These are the Dansha stairs in China. These stairways carved directly into the mountain rock are not just an access route, they are a Buddhist pilgrimage to reach the temples at the summit. It is said that the physical challenge of the climb symbolizes the spiritual effort required to attain enlightenment.
Before 1956, refrigerators had mechanical latches that could only be opened from the outside. This posed a serious risk if someone became trapped inside. Sadly, several cases of suffocation were recorded. To prevent further tragedies, a law was enacted in the United States that same year. From then on, doors were required to be openable from the inside. Manufacturers adopted magnetic latches as a safer solution. This measure significantly reduced refrigerator-related accidents.
The black heron, native to sub-Saharan Africa, employs a unique hunting technique called canopy feeding. It spreads its wings like an umbrella to create shade over the water. This shade reduces sun glare and allows it to better see the fish it is trying to catch. In addition, some small fish are attracted to the apparent shelter and move closer. This behavior has been widely documented in ornithological studies and is a notable example of behavioral adaptation in aquatic birds.
In Saka, Yakutia, winter temperatures drop below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Under these conditions, vehicle engines freeze even with thermal covers. To start them, they must be heated for at least half an hour. Methods include electric blankets, blowtorches, or industrial heaters. Many residents choose to leave the engine running for days. This practice prevents freezing damage and makes starting easier.
The average length of the human tongue is approximately 4 inches from the base to the tip, although it can vary from person to person. These measurements are usually taken from the lips to the tip of the protruding tongue.
Raisins are obtained by dehydrating grapes, a process that reduces their water content. As they lose moisture, the grapes wrinkle and decrease in size. This change also concentrates their sugars, making them taste sweeter. Drying can be done naturally in the sun or through artificial methods, such as ovens or electric dehydrators.
There are tools designed to make placing contact lenses easier. Some include special tweezers that help keep the eyelids open. This prevents blinking when inserting the lenses. They are useful for people with long nails or difficulty handling lenses. They can also improve hygiene by avoiding direct contact with the eyes.
The cutlass fish, also known as the saberfish or hairtail, is common along the coasts of Venezuela and other regions of the western Atlantic. Its steel blue color changes to silvery gray after death. It can reach up to 7.7 feet in length, although it is usually smaller. It is a predatory fish that inhabits tropical and temperate waters around the world. In the Americas, it ranges from Virginia to Argentina.
Rupert Richards is a Jamaican Rastafarian with extremely long dreadlocks. He has been growing his hair since 1968, maintaining his unique style. Although he does not hold an official record, his dreadlocks are impressive. Every time he washes them, he uses 2 bottles of shampoo and half a bottle of conditioner. Venomous snakes store their venom in sacs located on both sides of the head. These sacs are connected to the fangs through special ducts. When they bite, the venom flows through these hollow tubes. It travels from the base of the fang to the tip. In this way, they inject venom into their prey efficiently.
In Pittsburgh, United States, streets paved with wooden blocks known as paving blocks are still preserved. This method was popular in the 19th century because it was economical and absorbed the noise of hooves and wheels. Roslyn Place, built in 1914 with oak blocks, is an emblematic example. This type of pavement was common in several cities in the United States and the United Kingdom. Over time, it was replaced by asphalt and concrete. However, some historic streets maintain this design as urban heritage.
The modern toilet restaurant is located in Taipei, Taiwan, and its entire decor revolves around bathroom elements. Diners sit on real toilets, and dishes are served in containers shaped like toilets or urinals. The menu includes curry, sausages, desserts, and ice cream with a scatological appearance. The restaurant is inspired by bathroom aesthetics as a playful concept and is a recognized attraction in the city. In a viral video recorded in Pakistan, a donkey pulls a cart carrying two people at high speed. The scene takes place on a highway and appears authentic, without accelerated editing. Although some estimate it reaches between 31 and 37 miles per hour, there are no verifiable measurements. The cart has well-inflated tires, which favors inertia. It is possible that the terrain has a downhill slope that increases the apparent speed. Nearby vehicles do not appear especially fast.
In Yosemite National Park, in the Sierra Nevada of California, climbers sleep suspended on platforms called portaledges. These structures are anchored to the rock during multi-day vertical climbs, such as those on El Capitan. Although the position is horizontal, they are hanging over the void and secured with harnesses. Sleeping this way allows climbers to rest without descending between days.
Buenaventura, Colombia, is one of the cities with the most rainy days in the world. On average, it rains 258 days a year, making it one of the most humid regions. Its annual rainfall exceeds 394 inches due to its location on the Pacific coast. The constant humidity influences its ecosystem and biodiversity.
In Nepal, mountainous terrain forces unconventional transportation methods in remote areas. In some extreme cases, vehicles are moved using pulley systems over ravines. These maneuvers usually occur when no passable roads exist. Passengers, meanwhile, cross on foot using suspension bridges that connect villages.
This shorn alpaca is an animal native to the Andes. Its fleece is highly valued, as it is considered one of the finest fibers in the world. It is warmer than sheep's wool, lightweight, hypoallergenic, and durable. Unlike sheep, alpaca fiber is classified into 22 natural colors, making it even more exclusive.
Some Australian geckos have hydrophobic skin that repels water thanks to microstructures called spinules. These allow droplets to roll or bounce across the surface, keeping them dry. This mechanism helps prevent fungal or bacterial infections. The effect resembles what happens on a hot frying pan. The hydrophobic property also contributes to their natural self-cleaning.
The Barat is a traditional wedding procession in India, where the groom arrives at the ceremony venue in a vehicle decorated with great splendor. This transport often resembles a rath, which in Hindu culture represents a ceremonial chariot of war or deities. The symbolism highlights the groom's arrival as if he were a prince. In weddings in northern India, the Barat includes music, dance, and family accompaniment. The connection between weddings and rituals reinforces its cultural character.
In November of 2021, a severe storm struck the city of Aswan, Egypt. The rains caused flooding in a region where the climate is usually extremely dry. This forced scorpions and snakes to leave their shelters and move toward inhabited areas. More than 500 people were hospitalized and at least 3 deaths from stings were recorded. The responsible species was the fat-tailed scorpion, highly venomous and common in that area.
The Asian elephant can be trained to perform acts such as painting in front of tourists, although it does not understand the meaning of its strokes. This behavior is the result of years of conditioning, in which the handler guides its movements through physical stimuli, such as pulling the ear in different directions to indicate the strokes. Elephants have large brains with hundreds of billions of neurons, although their density per cubic millimeter is lower than that of humans. The painting activity is a memorized repetition, not a conscious artistic expression.
A ladybug follows a pencil line perfectly. The key lies in the method insects use to communicate with one another. When an insect finds something worth investigating, it leaves a trail that is chemically similar to the ink of some pens. In Oxford, England, there is a house in Headington with a fiberglass shark sculpture embedded in the roof. It was installed on August 9, 1986, by artist John Buckley as a form of protest. The project was driven by Bill Hine, who was the homeowner at the time. The artwork measures 24.5 feet and has become a local icon.
The toucan is a tropical bird with a large, colorful, and lightweight beak that can measure almost half of its body length. It inhabits the rainforests of Central and South America. Its plumage is black with bright tones on the chest and around the eyes. Its beak displays colors such as yellow, green, orange, and red. It feeds mainly on fruit, but also consumes insects and small vertebrates. In addition to feeding, its beak helps regulate its body temperature. It is an emblematic species of tropical forests.
The rectangular iceberg recorded by NASA in October of 2018 formed naturally after breaking away from the Larsen C ice shelf in Antarctica. Its geometric shape and straight edges classify it as a tabular iceberg, resulting from linear fractures in the ice. Although it appears unusual, this type of formation is relatively common in polar regions.
Ice often breaks in straight lines, generating flat surfaces with defined angles. Over time, wind, waves, and temperature erode the block, altering its symmetry.
This vehicle, recorded in the United Arab Emirates, is considered the largest Hummer in the world. It measures approximately 46 feet long, nearly 20 feet wide, and around 21.7 feet tall. It was created as a curiosity for a collector and is not designed for regular driving. Its size requires escorts and special permits to move. It is equipped with several diesel engines and features functional interior spaces. It is part of an exhibition at the Off-Road History Museum.
The Breiða Merkurjökull ice cave, located in Iceland, contains natural formations created by the freezing of glacial meltwater. These structures are composed of dense ice and display intense blue tones due to the purity and density of the ice. They are accessible only during winter, from November to March, when conditions are more stable and safe. In several cities in Australia, the green wave system is applied, synchronizing traffic lights so that vehicles can maintain a constant speed and pass through multiple intersections without stopping. This strategy improves traffic flow, reduces travel time, and lowers both fuel consumption and polluting emissions. It is based on detailed calculations of distances, speeds, and signal timing. In addition, the use of sensors and algorithms allow for dynamic adjustments according to traffic volume.
The golden snub-nosed langur is a primate endemic to mountainous regions of China, such as Sichuan, Shanxi, and Gansu, where it inhabits temperate forests that often have snow. It is adapted to cold climates and feeds mainly on fruits, leaves, shoots, and pine needles, depending on the season. It lives in large groups that subdivide into units led by a dominant male with 5 or 6 females and their offspring. It is considered the only primate that regularly tolerates snow. It is classified as a vulnerable species due to habitat loss. Its social behavior is complex and hierarchical. It is one of the most unique species of Chinese wildlife.
During the Bright Show event in Dubai, British designer Debbie Wingham presented a wedding cake shaped like an Arab bride, valued at more than $1 million. It measured 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed approximately 265 pounds. The piece was decorated with white diamonds, pearls, and thousands of edible flowers. Although it was not intended for consumption for hygiene reasons, the design was part of an artistic exhibition within the world of high-end pastry. The cake was named Lulua and represented a life-size female figure. This is probably the largest toilet in the world. It must measure around 6.56 feet, and although it can flush water like a real one, it is not functional for human use. It is an eccentric work of art rather than a practical toilet.
The Hamilton Scott's residential building is located in Singapore and is known for its vertical parking system. This complex allows residents to raise their cars using automated elevators up to the level of their apartments. Each unit has a glass-enclosed bay next to the living room where the vehicle is displayed. It is part of the Orchard Road District, a high-end area. The building has been internationally recognized for its exclusive concept.
The onychophoran, known as the velvet worm, captures prey such as cockroaches using an adhesive slime that it shoots from oral papillae. Although its eyes are simple and have limited vision, it is not completely blind. Some species can eject this substance up to distances close to 18 inches, although there is no universal measurement. They inhabit tropical and humid regions from Mexico to Argentina.
Raphael Breedy holds the Guinness record for walking on the highest high line in the world. He achieved it by crossing a balance line approximately 1 inch wide between 2 hot air balloons. The walk took place at 6,236 feet above Praia Grande, Brazil. The event occurred on December 2, 2021. Breedy walked barefoot, demonstrating great balance and control. He used a safety harness as required by regulations. His feet doubled the height of the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. Behold the majesty of the Bahamian cruise ship Braemar as it navigates with astonishing precision through an artificial canal only 68.9 feet wide. We are referring to the iconic Corinth Canal in Greece, an engineering marvel that connects the Gulf of Corinth with the Aegean Sea. Its construction was a monumental achievement. Without it, ships would have to undertake a very long journey around the Peloponnese Peninsula, saving days of navigation and thousands of kilometers. It is an impressive example of how human ingenuity can tame geography to facilitate trade and maritime transport.
The Norwegian company Svalbardi markets iceberg water collected in the Svalbard archipelago. It is a luxury product bottled in presentations of approximately 25.4 fluid ounces. Each bottle can cost between 80 and 99 euros depending on the edition. The product is presented as pure and exclusive water obtained from melted ice.
The technique of watermelon carving is part of an artistic tradition present for centuries in Asian countries such as Thailand, China, and Vietnam. It consists of designing patterns on the surface of the fruit and cutting them precisely using specialized knives. Watermelon is chosen for its size, color contrast, and ease of handling. The carving is frequently used in celebrations and gastronomic displays. Today, it is a decorative art form with a presence on social media and in culinary competitions.
This is the Guinness World Record from 2014 for the narrowest parallel parking. The competition is usually done with Mini Cooper vehicles. It was achieved by the Chinese driver Han Yu during Formula Drift in Chongqing, China. The reverse Guinness World Record was achieved by the English driver Alistair Moffat in 2015. In September of 2021, a Boeing C-17 Globemaster aircraft of the Royal Australian Air Force flew at low altitude over the Brisbane River as part of rehearsals for the Sunsuper River Fire Festival. The flight passed close to several downtown buildings, including the Soleil skyscraper, which is approximately 797 feet tall. Although it was an officially announced display, the maneuver surprised many residents because of its proximity to urban structures. This strange frog is unable to land on its feet, instead landing on its side, on its back, or even on its nose. It simply jumps and stiffens its body to fall in an uncontrolled way. It is an amphibian endemic to the Amazon, known locally as the Bruno frog, Leptodactylus phalanx. Although it is not very graceful in its landing, it can be found from Brazil to Colombia. Its peculiar way of falling is part of its survival strategy in its habitat. The province of Heilongjiang, located at the northernmost edge of China, is the coldest region in the country. In January of 2023, the city of Mohe recorded a record temperature of 63.4 degrees below zero on the Fahrenheit scale. This value is the lowest documented in the modern history of China. Mohe has a subarctic climate with long winters and extensive snow cover. Heilongjiang has earned the nickname the coldest China for verifiable climatic reasons. During winter conditions at airports in the United States, commercial aircraft undergo a de-icing process to remove frost, snow, and ice from wings, fuselage, and stabilizers. A Type 1 fluid is used, composed mainly of propylene glycol and water, heated between 160 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This fluid is applied using special vehicles that spray the mixture under pressure onto critical surfaces. In some cases, a Type 4 fluid is added as an anti-icing agent to prevent ice from reforming before takeoff.
Rzeszów-Jasionka Airport, located in southeastern Poland, operates in a region where foggy conditions or low clouds are common, especially during colder seasons. In such cases, airplanes often pass through cloud layers during takeoff or landing, which can create striking visual effects such as the apparent cutting of fog. This visual effect is not exclusive to Rzeszów and can occur at other airports with similar conditions. What you see here is the imposing Tibetan Mastiff, one of the largest and most impressive canine breeds in the world. This dog stands out for its abundant fur, which makes it appear even more majestic. Originating from the icy heights of the Himalayas, Tibetan Mastiffs were invaluable companions to nomadic shepherds, protecting their herds with their size, strength, and bravery. Although the Great Dane holds the title of the tallest dog in the world at around 42.8 inches, the Tibetan Mastiff is not far behind, reaching a respectable 29.5 inches in height at the shoulder.
So-called army ants, also known as marabuntas or legionary ants, form mobile colonies with millions of individuals. They move nomadically throughout their lives without building permanent nests and attack prey en masse. Their behavior is aggressive, organized, and predatory. They inhabit regions from the southern United States to Brazil, crossing tropical areas of Central America. Some species create temporary shelters using their own bodies. These insects display a collective hunting strategy and have a strong ecological impact.
The largest tire landfill in the world is located in Kuwait, mainly in the areas of Arhia and Salmi. For decades, more than 50 million tires have accumulated there. Since 2012, several fires have been recorded, some producing enormous smoke columns visible from great altitude.
In Chiang Rai, Thailand, is the Buddhist temple Wat Rong Kun, known as the White Temple. It was designed by the artist Chalermchai Kositpipat, and construction began in 1997. The work is ongoing and is expected to take several decades to complete. In front of the temple, there is a moat with sculptures of emerging hands that symbolize human desire and suffering. Every winter in Westbrook, Maine, a rare natural phenomenon can appear. An ice disk forms in rivers when the current slowly erodes the edges of a floating ice sheet, giving it a circular shape. The disk rotates on its axis due to lateral water flow. Although part of the ice remains submerged, the disk floats on the surface. Its size can exceed 295 feet in diameter. There is no definitive explanation, but it is associated with vortices generated by temperature and density differences. It is one of the most unusual winter phenomenon documented in the United States.
The saw used to cut plaster casts does not damage human skin due to its special design. Instead of rotating or sawing, it vibrates to cut hard materials, such as plaster. The skin, being flexible, moves with the vibration and is not cut. This technology allows casts to be removed safely. Doctors use it without risk of injury to soft tissues. It is an essential tool in traumatology. Its use ensures a precise and painless procedure. Somatic is an autonomous robot designed to clean bathrooms in commercial environments. It is capable of using elevators, opening doors, and disinfecting toilets, sinks, floors, and other surfaces. It operates without constant supervision and adapts to each space through virtual reality training. The manufacturer rents it for $1,000 per month. It operates 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week. It is in use in offices, gyms, and hotels in the United States. Its efficiency has made it a notable example of robotics applied to hygiene tasks.
In the year 2010, British inventor Perry Watkins built a vehicle with the appearance of a complete dining room. He called it fast food and tested it at the Santa Pod Raceway in Bedford, United Kingdom. The design included a table, chairs, and tableware, all on wheels. During the test, it reached 113.7 miles per hour. The record was certified by Guinness as the fastest piece of furniture in the world. Despite its domestic appearance, the vehicle was fully functional.
This crystal growing kit recreates a Japanese scene with decorative elements. The design includes figures of Mount Fuji, cherry blossom trees, and a stylized representation of the Honshu countryside. The crystals grow on paper or plastic structures and form unique patterns. This type of toy is popular in educational activities and scientific observation.
The most expensive collectible card in history so far is a Mickey Mantle baseball card from the year 1952. It was sold in August of 2022 for $12.6 million. The auction was conducted by the House Heritage Auctions in the United States. This card belongs to the Topps collection and was in near-perfect condition. It was graded with a score of 9.5 by the specialized company SGC. The price surpassed all previous records in sports memorabilia. Lacramaria olor is a single-celled microorganism that lives in freshwater puddles and stands out for its extensible and flexible neck. This neck can reach up to 30 times the length of the body and allows it to capture other mobile cells. The extension is achieved through an internal helical structure of microtubules, similar to cellular origami. This mechanism was documented by Stanford researchers in recent studies. The behavior responds to chemical and mechanical stimuli in its environment. On the program Mythbusters, they tested what it would be like to drive a car with square wheels. At first, the driving was very rough due to vibrations. However, as the speed increased, the truck began to stabilize. This happens because the wheels strike the ground more frequently. At a certain speed, the motion becomes more uniform. Although it remains uncomfortable, stability improves.
The El Totumo mud volcano is located in the municipality of Santa Catalina, near Cartagena, Colombia. It is not an active volcano in the geological sense, since it does not emit lava, but rather a mixture of mud rich in minerals. This site functions as a tourist attraction, where visitors can immerse themselves in its muddy waters for therapeutic purposes. The bath costs around $5, and additional services such as massages or rinsing may have an extra cost.
Les Coley is the oldest man to father a child, according to Guinness World Records. He was born in Australia in 1898 and became a father at 92 years and 10 months. His son was born to his third wife, whom he met through a dating agency. Coley led an active life and worked as a farmer. His record continues to be recognized worldwide. In the game of tic-tac-toe, also known as 3 in a row, there are opening strategies that increase the chances of winning. Starting in the center allows lines to be formed in more directions, offering a tactical advantage. Another effective option is to start in a corner, especially if the opponent does not respond with strategic logic. These openings are documented in optimal solution guides for the game. The game combines simplicity with anticipatory reasoning. Its analysis reveals basic strategic principles applicable to everyday situations. In Nakhon Pathom, Thailand, stands the Buddhist temple Wat Sampron, famous for its red cylindrical tower of 17 stories. Wrapped around the tower is a hollow dragon sculpture through which visitors can climb. The dragon represents protective strength and the ascent toward enlightenment. Renisfjara Black Beach is located in southern Iceland near the village of Vik í Mýrdal and is famous for its volcanic sand, formed by the erosion of solidified lava. Its landscape is dominated by basalt columns, steep cliffs, and rock formations known as Reynistrangar, associated with local legends. The contrast between the black sand and the ocean makes it one of the most striking beaches in the world.
In September of 2018, in Italiko, Greece, a giant spiderweb measuring about 984 feet appeared. It covered vegetation and coastal structures and was woven by spiders of the genus Tetragnatha, known for their long jaws. This phenomenon does not occur every year, but can repeat in cycles depending on the climate. That year, heat and humidity favored the growth of mosquitoes, the main food of these spiders. The insect population boom caused the proliferation of webs. Although unusual, it does not represent a serious risk to humans.
In England, arc-shaped clouds known as cumulonimbus arcus have been documented. This phenomenon forms when cold descending air from a storm collides with warm surface air, generating condensation in horizontal layers. The resulting cloud has a curved appearance and can extend for miles. It is common in severe storms and is associated with abrupt changes in pressure and temperature.
The bridge over the Itinga River in Brazil shows a rise of up to 11.8 inches at its center when trucks pass over it, which does not represent a structural failure. This behavior is due to the Gerber-type design, characterized by a central section suspended between two main parts. The structure does not have a rigid connection in the middle, allowing controlled flexing. This system distributes dynamic weight efficiently. The joints in the design allow a certain amount of vertical movement without compromising safety.
Every year during St. Patrick's Day celebrations, the Chicago River in Illinois is dyed green as part of a tradition that began in 1962. The dye used is a non-toxic vegetable powder, and its exact formula remains secret. The procedure is carried out by the local plumbers union from boats on the river. The green color appears within minutes and remains visible for several hours. This practice began with the detection of leaks in the sewer system. The transformation of the river has become a festive symbol of the community.
The Immolent MS-18 flashlight is one of the most powerful commercially available, with 100,000 lumens thanks to 18 LEDs. A common LED bulb produces about 400 lumens, which illustrates its intensity. To dissipate heat, it incorporates fans that emit a sound similar to a running engine. It can heat materials such as paper if they are close to the LEDs. Its price varies and is usually between $600 and $700. It is an extreme object, closer to technical use than everyday use.
The Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone National Park in the United States is the largest hot spring in the country and the third largest in the world. It stands out for its intense colors caused by pigmented bacteria that thrive in mineral-rich waters. These bacteria form biofilms that vary depending on temperature. Occasional phenomena such as steam whirlwinds can be observed due to the interaction of heat with the air. Its diameter exceeds 295 feet, and its temperature is around 158 degrees Fahrenheit. It is one of the most photographed landscapes in Yellowstone.
In California, United States, Fremont Peak can be observed with a large full moon in the background. To achieve this type of image, photographers usually use long focal-length telephoto lenses. This technique compresses perspective and visually magnifies the size of the moon. Fremont Peak is a popular spot among astronomy enthusiasts and landscape photographers.
Racing greyhounds reach speeds close to 43.5 miles per hour thanks to their explosive start and aerodynamic bodies. Racehorses, especially thoroughbreds, have similar maximum speeds, around 46.6 miles per hour. However, their initial acceleration is slower, and they require more distance to reach peak performance. Therefore, greyhounds outperform horses at the start. Both animals stand out for their speed over short distances. The comparison must consider acceleration time, track type, and physical endurance.
The potato is native to the Andean highlands, especially southern Peru and northwestern Bolivia.
In those regions, it was cultivated as food for more than 7,000 years. It was introduced to Europe in the 16th century, where it was initially received with distrust. Although in some places it was used for decorative purposes, it was always edible in the Andes. Its consumption as food in Europe gradually became popular throughout the 17th century. The English mechanic Shane has built a peculiar sofa car that has caught the attention of many. Instead of a traditional steering wheel, this vehicle uses a pizza. The pedals are located to the right of the driver and are controlled by a foot and a knee. To accelerate, a package of candy is used, and to brake, a Guinness drink. This project, known as the car sofa, has been a success in the media and on social networks.
In Hebei, China, a donkey is shown whose hooves have not been trimmed in years. This happens with animals in captivity that do not walk in the field and therefore do not wear them down. In China, each of these hooves can be sold for about 2,000 yuan, that is, approximately $300. There is a reason why it is recommended to flush with the lid closed. What is seen is the microscopic breeze or aerosol plume that emerges from inside a toilet when the flush is activated. This phenomenon, often invisible to the naked eye, consists of tiny water particles mixed with bacteria and viruses that can disperse through the air. Closing the lid minimizes the spread of these aerosols, contributing to better bathroom hygiene.
Blood represents between 7 and 8% of total body weight. This percentage varies according to age and physical condition. The human body maintains a precise balance in blood volume. Blood transports oxygen, nutrients, and metabolic waste. It is also key in regulating body temperature. This is an astonishing example of mutualism in nature, the leaf litter frog and the tarantula Pamphobeteus antineus, commonly known as the Genesis tarantula, which help each other in a fascinating symbiotic relationship. They are common in Peru, Brazil, and Bolivia. The frog takes refuge under the body of the tarantula when a predator is nearby, finding protection in its size and intimidating reputation. In return, the frog feeds on the small parasites and insects that often infest the tarantula's nest and could feed on the arachnid's eggs, thus benefiting both.
Mayflies are insects present in many regions, including California. Their name refers to their short adult lifespan, which can last only a few hours. However, in their aquatic larva stage, they can live up to 4 years. They inhabit rivers and lakes, where they are indicators of good water quality. There are thousands of species distributed throughout the world, except in Antarctica. During mass emergence events, they form temporary clouds of individuals. This behavior usually occurs near freshwater bodies.
These are coffin homes in Hong Kong, China, a city with the highest land value in the world. 200,000 people live in tiny apartments, some of only 15.1 square feet, not long enough to stretch their legs while sleeping. A family pays around $2,000 per month for a niche next to an elevator. A smaller cubicle rents for about $300 per month.
Finn is a Labrador retriever known for his work with the baseball team, the Las Vegas Aviators. Since the year 2016, he was responsible for retrieving the bats that players left on the field after hitting. His work made him a beloved figure among fans. During games, he happily ran across the field to perform his task. In April of 2024, Finn officially retired with a special tribute.
Why are the signs low in this town in California? The streets are incredibly wide, and the garages have huge doors because this is Cameron Park, a community of pilots. They have a central airstrip, and residents can take off and land their private planes from their own homes. These communities, known as air park communities, do not have a control tower, so pilots use radios to communicate with each other and announce their takeoffs and landings. Interestingly, the streets are not only wide to accommodate airplane wings, but in many cases they also function as official taxiways.
This is the Monkeyland Primate Sanctuary in South Africa, a refuge that provides a safe home for various species of primates. The primate shown is a gibbon, a species of small ape native to Southeast Asia. Gibbons are famous for their acrobatic abilities, and as mentioned, they are not afraid of falling from the bridge due to the length and strength of their enormous arms and hands. Their anatomy is perfectly adapted for brachiation, moving by swinging between branches. And in the skeleton, it is possible to see how long their arms are in proportion to their body, which gives them an unmatched advantage in their arboreal habitat.
A ship carrying new automobiles departed from South Korea to Vladivostok, Russia. During the voyage across the Sea of Japan, temperatures dropped to -22 degrees Fahrenheit. Salt water from the waves froze onto the vehicles and penetrated their interiors. Some cars arrived with layers of ice even inside the cabin.
Josh Newman was an American longboard downhill skateboarder, known for his videos on Swiss roads. On these routes, speeds above 62 miles per hour can be reached. To brake, riders slide and use gloves with sliding discs on the palms. To reduce speed, they raise their bodies, and to increase it, they crouch. They also tuck the rear leg and arms to minimize resistance. The boards used, called longboards, usually measure between 35.4 and 43.3 inches. The Berryman Festival is celebrated every second Friday of August in South Queensferry near Edinburgh, Scotland. A man walks through the town covered with hundreds of burdock burrs, plants with sticky seed heads that cling to his suit. The walk lasts approximately 9 hours and covers between 6.8 and 8.7 miles. Although its exact origin is unknown, it is associated with ceremonies of protection, fertility, and renewal. Quail use a defense mechanism known as tonic immobility. When they sense the presence of a predator, they remain completely still to go unnoticed. This behavior allows them to camouflage themselves in their surroundings, thanks to their plumage.
Every 6 years in Suwa, Nagano, the Ombashira Matsuri takes place, a Japanese festival with more than 1,200 years of history. Participants fell 16 sacred fir trees in the nearby mountains. They then transport the logs to Suwa Shrine, where they are erected as ceremonial pillars. During the phase called Kyotoshi, some participants slide down steep slopes on the logs.
Bees can eliminate a queen if they consider her unsuitable for the hive. In some cases, the workers surround her and generate heat with their bodies until she suffocates. This defense mechanism occurs when the queen is weak, does not lay enough eggs, or comes from another colony. Through this behavior, bees ensure the survival and stability of the community.
In the Afar region of Ethiopia, a massive land fissure is forming due to the separation of 3 tectonic plates. This fracture emerged notably in the year 2005, reaching about 35 miles in length. The phenomenon is part of a geological process that could give rise to a new ocean. As the plates move apart, new oceanic crust forms between them. Scientists estimate that this ocean will form over a period of 5 to 10 million years. Some recent research suggests it could happen sooner.
The Odelete River, located in the Algarve region of Portugal, has been informally nicknamed the Blue Dragon River due to its serpentine shape when viewed from the air. This image became popular in 2015 among Chinese internet users because of its resemblance to traditional dragon representations in that culture.
30 people participated in Oaxaca in a symbolic ceremony where they married trees from the municipality of San Jacinto Amilpas. The event was organized in 2018 by the Peruvian environmentalist Richard Torres as a protest against deforestation. The initiative seeks to create emotional bonds with trees in order to protect them for life.
Yuko is a traditional Korean dish made from raw lean beef cut into thin strips and accompanied by raw egg yolk and Asian pear. It is seasoned with soy sauce, sesame oil, garlic, sugar, ginger, and sometimes green onion. The dish is served cold and stands out for its delicate texture and balanced flavor.
In Australia, it is common to see kangaroos moving along rural roads. The red kangaroo can reach speeds close to 43.5 miles per hour over short distances. Ostriches also reach that speed, while gazelles can reach up to 49.7 miles per hour. The leopard, although agile, has a maximum speed of about 36 miles per hour. The cheetah is the fastest land animal, with recorded speeds between 64.6 and 71.5 miles per hour. Giraffe Manor is a boutique hotel located in Nairobi, Kenya, famous for allowing guests to feed Rothschild giraffes from the restaurant or bedroom windows. These giraffes are part of a reserve dedicated to their conservation. The main colonial-style building was constructed in the 1930s and later restored to offer luxury accommodation. The nightly rate usually exceeds $300 per person, although it may vary depending on the season and room type. The place has gained notoriety for its close interaction with these animals and its conservation-focused approach.
The skunk uses a chemical defensive strategy based on the expulsion of a foul liquid from its glands, capable of reaching up to 6.5 feet in distance. Some species stand on their front legs to better aim the spray, although not all adopt this posture. The odor can linger on skin or clothing for at least 2 weeks, and in some cases persist for up to a month if the active compounds are not removed. This substance contains thiols, highly volatile sulfur compounds responsible for the penetrating smell.
Sculptures carved into pencil lead are a real form of miniature art. The Bosnian artist Jasenko Djordjevic is internationally recognized for this technique. He uses precision tools to carve detailed figures in graphite, such as animals, objects, or portraits. His works stand out for their fragility and level of detail. The pencil lead becomes both the support and the raw material.
Nanjing Road in Shanghai, China, is one of the busiest commercial areas in the country. Its pedestrian section receives hundreds of thousands of visitors per day, especially during peak seasons. It is known for its shops, restaurants, and shopping centers. The pedestrian crossing is one of the largest in China. Water bubbles in grass are accumulations of water trapped between the grass and the soil. They form when the ground is saturated and cannot drain properly. This occurs due to heavy rainfall, excessive irrigation, or soil compaction. When stepped on, the water can shift or rise to the surface. Although uncommon, they can affect lawn health. It is important to correct them to prevent damage. Maintaining good drainage helps prevent them. The Mamaray and Ucayali rivers display active meanders that change over time due to water erosion, generating oxbow lakes when old channels are abandoned. The Mamaray flows through areas of Bolivia and Brazil, while the Ucayali crosses regions of Peru. Both rivers are examples of fluvial dynamics in tropical environments. Meanders are curves formed by the erosion of riverbanks caused by water flow. In Turkey, a tradition with more than 1,000 years of history is practiced, known as camel wrestling. It takes place in winter, when Tulu camels, hybrids bred for this purpose, compete during the mating season. The event occurs mainly in the Aegean region and is part of Turkish cultural heritage. The practice originated among nomadic Turkic tribes. The matches are controlled and do not involve injuries to the camels. The public attends as part of local festivals. In January of 2020, the American golfer Michael Furr obtained the Guinness World Record for having built the longest functional golf club in the world. The club measured 51.1 feet and was successfully used to strike a ball. The shot reached a distance greater than 147.6 feet, meeting the functional requirements of the record. The attempt took place in Fort Worth, Texas, and was officially recorded. Leonel Campas Garcia is considered the tallest man in Mexico. He measures 7 feet 6 inches and lives in Maquipo, Sinaloa. His great height is due to a hormonal disorder that affected his growth from the age of 15. He's currently 31 years old, works as an automotive mechanic, and is very well loved in his community. Trains in India face extreme overcrowding, with so many people that they cannot fit inside them. Officially, the cars are divided into first, second, and third class, with the latter being where people travel standing and tightly packed. However, there is a fourth unofficial and extremely dangerous class, traveling on the roof of the trains. Although it is officially not allowed to ride there, many people do so out of necessity or lack of space, risking their lives for a trip. These egg masses belong to the leopard frog and are sometimes attached to branches or plants. The name leopard comes from its spotted skin, but its common name in English is meadow frog because of the sound the males make to attract females, which resembles a purr or a grunt. Cats have 32 muscles in each ear, allowing them to move them precisely and independently. Thanks to this ability, they can rotate them up to 180 degrees to locate sounds. This skill improves their hearing and also allows them to express emotions. On July 2, 2021, in the Bay of Campeche, a fire occurred on the sea due to a natural gas leak. The incident originated in a 4.7-inch underwater pipeline near the Ku-Sea platform, part of the Ku-Malob-Zop complex. A valve failure allowed the gas to ignite on the ocean surface. Pemex activated emergency protocols and closed the interconnection valves. Firefighting vessels were used to control the flames. In Dubai, vehicle owners must keep their cars clean in public spaces. If a dirty car remains parked for several days, authorities can issue a fine. The penalty is 500 dirhams, equivalent to about 130 euros. In addition, washing a car on public streets is prohibited and can result in another fine. These rules aim to preserve the city's clean image. Hormuz Island in Iran stands out for its unique red beach in the Persian Gulf. The intense color comes from iron oxide present in a local mountain called yalak. This mineral, rich in hematite, dyes the sand and water with reddish tones. The beach has become a natural attraction of great cultural and visual value.
Brain coral is a hard coral with an appearance similar to the surface of the human brain. Its domed structure features characteristic winding grooves and ridges. It is found in tropical and subtropical reefs, where it contributes to the formation of the marine ecosystem. It hosts zooxanthellae, microscopic algae that provide energy through photosynthesis. These algae maintain a symbiotic relationship with the coral, helping with its nutrition. When stressed, the coral can expel them, causing coral bleaching.
A gymnast forms an almost perfect cross with her body, extending her arms to the left and upward, while her legs point downward and to the right, creating a diagonal contrast that highlights the symmetry of the pose.
Leah Shutkever holds the Guinness record for eating a burrito in the shortest time. She achieved this mark in 32 seconds and 35 hundredths. It was recorded on February 9, 2022. Her technique is based on speed and precision while chewing. She is a standout competitor in the world of competitive eating.
The ningen is a creature that emerged from contemporary stories in Japan. It is described as a giant white humanoid being with marine features, supposedly seen in areas of the polar circle. Although its name means human in Japanese, its origin comes from internet forums in the 1990s.
This is the Chimborazo volcano in Ecuador. Due to its location on the equatorial line and the Earth's bulge at the equator, the summit of Chimborazo is the point farthest from the center of the planet, making it a reference point for geodesists and a challenge for mountaineers seeking the highest point in the world in terms of distance from the Earth's core. The company Empirical created a liquor inspired by the flavor of Doritos nacho cheese. This beverage was the result of an official collaboration with a snack brand. They used a vacuum distillation process to preserve the original nacho cheese flavor. The liquor was released as a limited edition in certain regions of the United States. Its taste combines umami, salty, and slightly acidic notes.
Meet the giant of the oceans, the cargo ship Ever Ace. This colossal vessel is a marvel of naval engineering designed to transport an astonishing amount of goods across the globe. To put its scale into perspective, just its main propeller weighs an impressive 154,324 pounds, which is equivalent to 14 times the average weight of an Asian elephant, which is around 11,023 pounds. The Ever Ace represents the pinnacle of modern maritime transportation capacity, essential to the global supply chain.
Since 1875, the city of Yanshui in Taiwan has celebrated one of the most dangerous festivals in the world with thousands of rockets. The tradition arose as a response to a cholera epidemic, when residents sought spiritual protection. They prayed to the god Guan Yu, who, according to belief, instructed them to carry out processions with fireworks to drive away evil spirits. The festival takes place every year during the Lantern Festival.
Puppet Alp, whose real name is Alper Kokos, is an artist who creates puppets with his own hands. He uses paint, paper, and clay to transform his fingers into representations of famous characters. His works stand out for their detail and expressiveness. He is a creative example of art made with simple resources.
In the skies over the United States, one of the most unusual and captivating cloud formations on the planet was captured: horseshoe clouds. These singular clouds begin their atmospheric dance with the formation of air vortices that rotate in a circular manner. They become visible when these whirlwinds manage to trap small amounts of moisture, which then take on that characteristic curved shape. Often, their peculiar silhouette is the result of rising air currents that are frequently generated by the presence of imposing mountain ranges.
Recorded in Texas, United States, this is a Volvo 244, a mobile work of art. It is not just an automobile, but a striking display that carries on its roof, hood, and doors the unusual load of 200 fish and singing lobsters.
Motion capture is a technique used to animate digital characters with great realism. Sensors are placed or special suits are used on a person to record their movements. That data is then transferred to a computer. In this way, the digital model imitates human movements with great precision. This method is very common in video games, films, and virtual reality.
In Nigeria, Honda-style motorcycles are commonly used as urban taxis. Some have been modified to carry several passengers on short trips. The hoverbike Scorpion 3, created by the Russian company Hoversurf, is a prototype limited in speed and range, developed as an experimental vehicle. Its flight was recorded in Moscow as part of demonstration tests. In Mexico, the use of the EHang 216 drone is expected, manufactured by the Chinese company EHang. This electric drone can carry up to 1,389 pounds and reach 80.8 miles per hour. Its range is close to 18.6 miles, and it autonomously operates on pre-established air routes. It takes off and lands from platforms known as skyports. Although still in the testing phase, it represents an advance in urban air mobility.
Petite cereal is a cereal made of miniature croissants crafted by hand. Each box contains approximately 250 tiny pieces. It's sold in New York and costs $50 per box.
Its manufacturing process includes dehydration and a coating of sugar and cinnamon. The croissants are then baked to achieve a crunchy texture. The common basilisk, nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard, has the incredible ability to run on water. It does not do so by magic, but by pure physics. Its hind legs have dermal lobes that spread out when they strike the surface, creating an air pocket that allows it to propel itself. What is most fascinating is that it achieves up to 20 strides per second, a speed that allows it to escape predators. It is found from southern Mexico to Ecuador and Venezuela. Recorded in Thailand, what at first glance appears to be a hairy snake is actually a fascinating example of natural adaptation. This is a water snake, specifically known as the mud snake and Hydrus plumbae. What gives it its hairy appearance is the moss that has grown on its skin after spending a long time motionless among rocks underwater. This phenomenon is temporary. The moss will naturally detach when the snake sheds its skin, revealing its usual smooth epidermis. Katie Ledecky, an Olympic swimmer, demonstrated her incredible balance in the water. She performed the challenge called the Got Milk Challenge. She swam with a glass of chocolate milk on her head. She did not spill a single drop during the swim.
The indoor waterfall at Dubai Mall include metallic sculptures known as diving men, which represent human figures in diving positions. These sculptures are made of polished aluminum and are distributed throughout a multi-story installation. In Morocco, an automotive curiosity that defies imagination was spotted, a double Jeep. It appears that its ingenious owner welded two Jeep Wranglers together to create this unique vehicle. Most likely, the Jeep on the left retains the functional engine that powers both, while the right side keeps its own engine, not for propulsion, but simply to act as an essential counterweight and maintain the stability of this unusual creation. A viral video shows a supposed global lightning bolt crossing railroad tracks, but it is actually a digital animation. Ball lightning is a rare and mysterious atmospheric phenomenon that appears as floating spheres of light during thunderstorms. Unlike a regular lightning strike that lasts fractions of a second, these spheres can persist for several seconds, moving erratically. Although they have been observed for centuries, their exact origin and physical nature remain a subject of debate and fascination for scientists. Otters are social and playful animals, and they show affection through play, sounds, and physical contact. Some wag their tails like dogs when they are happy.
Kiran from Mighty is a content creator known for his visual experiments with bubbles. In one of his videos, he fills a soap bubble with flammable gas, such as hydrogen or methane. He then ignites the bubble with a blowtorch, generating a brief, controlled flame. He uses that flame to toast a marshmallow in an original way. Although it looks simple, this type of experiment involves risks.
Greek artist Petros Peris creates portraits using a single continuous thread on a circular frame with 200 points. The artwork is developed through an algorithm that transforms images into linear patterns. The thread crosses between 3,000 and 4,000 times without cuts or knots. The result is a monochromatic portrait with remarkable visual precision. The technique combines digital art, programming, and physical design.
The biobus is a British bus that runs on biomethane, produced from human waste and food leftovers. It was introduced in Bristol in 2014 as part of a sustainable transportation initiative. This biofuel is obtained through the anaerobic digestion of organic waste. With a full tank, the vehicle can travel up to 186 miles. That amount of fuel is roughly equivalent to the waste generated by 5 people over the course of 1 year. Biomethane produces no bad odors or visible smoke and reduces polluting emissions by nearly 100% compared to diesel. Recorded in China, this is an ingenious restaurant truck, a mobile and efficient solution for gastronomy. These types of vehicles are designed with a fully equipped kitchen inside, allowing them to operate as a complete restaurant on wheels. They are popular at festivals, events, or simply to offer food in different locations, providing flexibility and access to a wide customer base. The low-res car is a conceptual electric vehicle created by the British company United Nude. Its geometric design is based on a simplified digital version of the Lamborghini Countach. It has no practical purpose, but rather artistic and exhibition goals. It reaches around 31 miles per hour and runs on a low-power electric motor. Its structure includes faceted surfaces and a minimal cabin. It is not authorized for use on public roads. It has been exhibited in museums and used in audiovisual productions as an example of experimental design. Probably recorded in China, this could be one of the largest spinning tops. The origin of the spinning top as a toy is not known with certainty. However, the oldest known example dates back about 6,000 years.
It was found in the region of the Euphrates River in present-day Iraq. It was made of clay and is part of a long, playful tradition.
Some makeup artists create optical illusions on the skin, including on the palm of the hand. They use precise techniques of shading, color, and perspective to simulate cuts, holes, or three-dimensional elements. These effects may look like digital manipulation, but they are made only with makeup.
Recorded in the United States, this is an abandoned mine shaft. Depending on weight, a stone falls at an approximate speed of 37.3 miles per hour, meaning it takes 1 minute to fall 1 mile. These burning containers took about 15 seconds to fall, considering that they would have gone out before reaching the bottom. And that is what happened. This shaft measures approximately 820 feet deep. The spherical wheels developed by Goodyear are part of the Citroën Skate prototype, an autonomous electric platform aimed at urban mobility that uses Eagle 360 tires with integrated motors capable of moving in any direction. This system was presented in collaboration with Accor and JC as a solution for efficient transportation in cities, with a maximum speed of approximately 15.5 miles per hour for safety reasons. This is the Bikes Motorcycle Club in London, England, an incredible place that shows how the owners managed to transform an apparent design problem in the building into a true attraction for customers. By integrating the pre-existing architecture and perhaps its limitations, they created a unique space that is not only a motorcycle club, but also a restaurant, barbershop, and store, all with a distinctive atmosphere that attracts both motorcycle enthusiasts and the general public.
Chris, accompanying Jacob, is an artist who creates works using fluid acrylic paint. His technique takes advantage of gravity to give movement to his compositions. Shapes and colors flow naturally, generating unique patterns. This style allows him to explore the interaction between chance and control. His creations convey dynamism and visual depth. The Miura Kaigan Sakura Festival is held every year in the city of Miura, Kanagawa Prefecture, Japan. It takes place between February and March, when more than 1,000 cherry trees of the Kawazu Sakura variety bloom. The trees extend along the Keikyu train tracks and the road leading to Komatsu Gaike Park. During the festival, there are food stalls and local products. It is one of the earliest cherry blossom events in Japan each year.
Auroras borealis occur when charged particles from the sun collide with the Earth's magnetic field. Scientists use models to estimate their location and timing by analyzing solar activity and the solar wind. Although these predictions can indicate where they may be visible, their appearance remains uncertain. The intensity and color depend on the energy of the particles and the composition of the atmosphere. They are mainly observed near the poles, where the magnetic field channels these particles. Despite the uncertainty, technological advances have improved the accuracy of predictions.
This is a house for skaters at the Gaîté Lyrique Modern Art Center in Paris, France. The entire surface is skatable and is inspired by a half-pipe. It was designed by the Belgian architect François Dallegrette. What is seen in this video is powdered snow, a phenomenon that occurs when strong winds lift loose snow from the ground. This creates a dense white cloud that can reduce visibility to nearly zero, a condition known as whiteout or total whiteness, which can be just as dangerous as heavy snowfall.
The bottoms-up beer machine, created by American engineer Josh Springer, allows beer glasses to be filled from the base through a dispensing system. The glass has a lower opening covered by a magnetic disc that opens on contact and seals when removed. This method speeds up beer service at large events and reduces foam formation, although it does not eliminate it completely, as it depends on the type of beer and the pressure applied.
Eau de Guardo is a perfume released by KFC in a limited edition. Its bottle is shaped like a fried chicken drumstick. Despite its appearance, its fragrance does not smell like chicken. Its aroma combines geranium, mandarin, pink pepper, and bergamot. The blend aims to convey freshness and sophistication. The Meissner effect was discovered in 1933 and describes how a superconducting material, when cooled below its critical temperature, completely expels the magnetic field from its interior. This allows phenomena such as the levitation of magnets over superconducting surfaces, thanks to their behavior as perfect diamagnets. The process does not consist of freezing the object, but of cooling it until it reaches the superconducting state, which requires extremely low temperatures, often using liquid nitrogen or liquid helium. Controlled implosion is a demolition method that uses strategically placed explosives to cause a building to collapse inward, minimizing damage to nearby structures.
This process requires a detailed study of the building's engineering, identifying key columns and supports for precise explosive placement. The collapse occurs in a matter of seconds and follows a structured plan. It is a procedure that demands extreme precision and strict safety measures.
When you do it quickly, all that can be seen are the fingers. The trick shown in the video, an illusion of manual dexterity, is based on rapidly moving combinations of opening and closing the fingers or hands in a specific way. This creates an optical illusion that deceives the eye, making it seem as though an object appears or disappears, or that the fingers blend into a blur of motion. The key is speed and precision in execution.
Darius Twin, whose real name is Darren Pearson, creates light animations using a technique called light painting. He uses colored lasers and a long exposure camera to capture luminous strokes in the dark. These images are arranged in sequence to form animations.
The Invisible House of Joshua Tree is located in California, near the park of the same name. It was designed by Tomas Osinski, along with producer Chris Hanley, and stands out for its mirrored glass facade. It has an indoor pool of more than 98 feet, a fully equipped kitchen, and up to 4 bedrooms. It also has at least 3 bathrooms and a separate suite. It is rented by the night or by the month, and nightly prices range between $2,000 and $5,000.
The Castello d'Alberti's Monte Galeto elevator in Genoa, Italy, is a hybrid public transportation system. It begins its journey horizontally by entering a tunnel at the base of the hill, and then changes orientation to ascend like a traditional elevator. This unique engineering allows it to overcome the slope of the hill efficiently and makes it one of the few transportation systems of its kind in the world.
The largest wind farm in California is called Alta Wind Energy Center. It is located in Kern County and has a capacity exceeding 1,500 megawatts. This production supplies renewable energy to hundreds of thousands of homes. The complex is one of the largest on land in the world. It uses state-of-the-art technology to harness the region's wind.
Q, a humanoid robot developed by Toyota, achieved the longest basketball shot ever made by a robot. The feat took place in Nagakute, Japan, on September 26, 2024. The distance of the shot was approximately 80.6 feet. On its second attempt, the robot successfully made the basket.
The Chinese company OneSpace carried out its first private launch in 2018 with the Chongqing Liangjiang Star rocket. This was a suborbital test flight aimed at developing technologies for microsatellites and nanosatellites. OneSpace is part of a new wave of companies dedicated to improving access to low Earth orbits.
In the eastern Himalayas of Nepal lies Amadablam, an emblematic mountain of approximately 22,351 feet. Its elegant profile and hanging glacier resemble a traditional amulet, giving it the name the Mother's Necklace in the Sherpa language. It is considered sacred by local communities. Its thin and technical southwest ridge is a route valued by experienced mountaineers.
Martial arts include numerous disciplines that use sticks as part of their training or demonstration. Styles such as eskrima, arnis, kali, kung fu, and silambam incorporate techniques with short or long staffs. Some routines are part of choreographed exhibitions. The practice is used both in combat and in artistic expression. In Kansas City, shops such as Statue 3D create three-dimensional figures of people using body scanning and printing. This technology, with medical applications such as prosthetics and surgery, was developed by several countries, including Germany. Today, it is available for artistic and commercial uses, allowing personalized replicas accessible to the public.
The Bund Finance Center is located in Shanghai, China, and was designed by Heatherwick Studio and Foster & Partners. Its kinetic facade stands out for featuring 3 movable layers of vertical metallic tubes that rotate on tracks. These dynamic curtains evoke bamboo and traditional Chinese screens. They are composed of 675 pieces of aluminum and stainless steel. The movement of the structures generate different levels of transparency depending on their position. Recorded in eastern Siberia, Russia, this is a meteorite lighting up the entire sky. It is estimated that the meteorite measured between 33 and 49 feet and disintegrated before reaching the ground. Compared with the impressive Chelyabinsk fireball, both were the same size, but the latter released its energy much closer to the Earth's surface. Recorded in Australia, these are boats doing wheelies. Tinnies are small aluminum boats that are highly maneuverable, measuring just over 6.5 feet in length and weighing only 132 pounds. This strange animal is an elderly marmoset. Although the common marmoset usually has dark fur,
This specimen shows hair loss and grayish fur, which is a normal sign of aging. In captivity, marmosets can live beyond 13 years. Science studies aging processes in these primates to better understand the process in humans. Captured in a shopping mall in San Francisco, these spiral escalators are a true work of architectural art. Their helical design is not only aesthetically impressive, but also optimizes space in a fascinating way, guiding visitors through different levels smoothly and in a visually appealing manner. They are a perfect example of how functionality can merge with beauty in interior design. Putting all billiard balls into the pockets with a single shot is physically impossible under normal conditions. Although there are videos where a player appears to achieve it, the content is manipulated. For the cue ball to propel 15 balls simultaneously would require excessive and improbable energy with a conventional cue. In addition, any slight imperfection in the rack arrangement alters their trajectories. The dispersion of energy makes it unfeasible for all of them to follow precise paths into the pockets.
This is the astonishing Shenzhen Library in China, a true architectural and cultural gem located in the vibrant Futian district, facing the picturesque Lianhua Hill. Opened in 2006, it is one of the most modern and technologically advanced library centers in the country, not only because of its vast collection of books and digital resources, but also due to its futuristic design and innovative spaces that encourage reading, research, and community interaction.
Watch how a box that falls from the back of a moving truck is, against all logic, sucked back toward the vehicle. This phenomenon, which seems to defy the laws of physics, has a surprisingly simple explanation. First, the box must contain very light contents. Second, and crucial, is the effect of an air pocket that forms just behind the moving truck, known as drafting. Part of the air that swirls in the vehicle's wake tends to lift from the ground and regroup toward the rear, creating a low pressure zone that can trap light objects and pull them back toward the truck.
In the Brazilian rainforest, some species of woody bamboo, such as those of the genus Guadua, store rainwater in their green internodes. This water is usually clean if it has not been externally contaminated. In situations where the river is muddy, these stalks can be accessed to obtain drinking water. It is a practice known in some Amazonian communities. Although useful, it does not replace safe purification methods.
A team from the University of Paris managed to make plastic boats float upside down thanks to vertical vibrations applied to liquids such as glycerol or silicone oil. These vibrations create a stable lower interface between the liquid and the air, where objects can float inverted. It is a system controlled by frequency. The phenomenon contradicts the classical principle of Archimedes and requires dynamic equilibrium.
This is a piggy bank based on the character No-Face, Kawanashi, from the film Spirited Away, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It represents the silent spirit and often includes movement or sound in some versions.
Meet the adorable Japanese flying squirrels. Typically, they grow to only about 7.9 inches long, not counting their tails. But despite their small body size, they have large eyes. They live in forests and, due to their brown coloring, often blend into nature. They are native to the islands of Honshu and Kyushu in Japan. They have the habit of gliding from one tree to another, which is where their name comes from. They are very bold for being so cute.
Usain Bolt ran in zero gravity during a parabolic flight conducted over France in September of 2018. The event took place aboard an Airbus operated by Novaspace as part of a promotional campaign. These flights generate temporary weightlessness by ascending at an angle and then descending along a ballistic trajectory. For a few seconds, passengers experience freefall, simulating the absence of gravity. The aircraft reaches approximately 33,000 feet in altitude during the maneuver. Mirage Estade is a work by the American artist Doug Aitken, installed in the Swiss Alps in the year 2019. The structure is shaped like a house and is completely covered in mirrors. It reflects the mountainous landscape in all seasons, creating a chameleon-like effect. It is the third version of the work after its exhibitions in Palm Springs and Detroit.
Longboat races are a tradition in several regions of Thailand, mainly in provinces such as Pichit and Nan. These boats can measure between 66 and more than 164 feet in length, depending on the design and festival. The competitions showcase coordination, strength, and community culture. They are usually held during religious and agricultural festivals. The event is authentic and reflects the country's ancestral practices.
Rudy Willingham is a content creator and visual artist with a unique style. He is known for his creative projects and his innovative use of paper cutouts. His creativity has gained recognition on social media.
The Museum of the Future in Dubai, inaugurated in 2022, is dedicated to innovation and features an oval structure decorated with Arabic calligraphy that reproduces phrases about progress and future vision. Its architecture symbolizes knowledge and the void of a future yet to be written. The interior houses exhibitions on artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and sustainability.
The American company Edge Innovations developed a highly precise animatronic dolphin. Its design simulates the behavior of a real dolphin with realistic movements, breathing, and buoyancy. The model has been used in marine shows and educational demonstrations as an ethical alternative. Its goal is to replace the use of real animals in aquariums and exhibitions.
These are shopping carts that cleverly lock up when they move too far away from the store. Apparently, the system works with a sensor in the wheels that, when passing over a strategically buried cable at the boundaries of the parking lot, locks the wheels. This system, known as the wheel lock system, or smart cart, is designed to prevent theft or loss of carts, as it prevents them from being taken outside the immediate vicinity of the establishment.
Dude Perfect carried out a spectacular challenge from a cargo plane. They launched giant darts toward a huge target on the ground. After several failed attempts, they managed to hit the shot with precision.
These are the extremely valuable Fabergé eggs. These eggs are considered masterpieces of jewelry and were only produced between 1885 and 1917. There are 69 eggs, and they were created by the Russian goldsmith Peter Carl Fabergé. The diamond cuckoo clock egg is the most expensive in the world. It was sold for $14 million. And why are they shaped like eggs? The most important celebration in the calendar of the Russian Orthodox Church is Easter, and it is commemorated with the exchange of Easter eggs.
On Mount Fengjinshan, part of the Wulin mountain range in China, there are two Buddhist temples at the summit, the Temple of Buddha and the Temple of Maitreya. Both are separated by a narrow stone bridge over a rocky cliff. The area is known for its steep trails and thousands of steps.
This is a silicone mask that you can find for sale online. This material is known for its incredible elasticity and realism, so much so that it is sometimes used by professional escape artists or magicians to create identity change illusions in shows and demonstrations.
Travel back in time to the childhood of humanity with this glimpse into a marble factory. These small glass orbs that have delighted generations are much more than a simple toy. They are a fragment of history. In fact, marbles have been found in the tomb of a child from ancient Egypt, which tells us of an age that goes back an astonishing 5,000 years. This makes them one of the oldest and most enduring toys humanity has ever known.
In China, there are extreme trails that combine suspended planks and steps carved into rock. The most famous is on Mount Hua, where hikers move along sections approximately 11.8 inches wide, secured to steel cables. The use of a harness is mandatory, and the route can take hours due to the number of tourists. Some sections allow only one person to pass at a time, creating long lines.
Love Love is a work by the French artist Julien Berthier, created in the year 2007. It consists of a boat that appears to be permanently half-sunken. Despite its appearance, the vessel is fully functional and can sail without problems. The design seeks to represent the moment just before a shipwreck, as a visual metaphor. This atmospheric phenomenon is called a sky punch or fall streak hole and is observed in altocumulus or cirrocumulus type clouds. It forms when the air suddenly cools and supercooled water droplets transform into ice crystals. This transformation can be triggered by the passage of an airplane. The process causes the droplets to evaporate and leave a visible hole in the cloud. The technical explanation corresponds to the mechanism known as the Bergeron process. Endless pools allow swimming in the same place thanks to a controlled current. Some models use a powerful propeller to generate a uniform flow, similar to the principle of marine engines. This design avoids turbulence and keeps the swimmer centered. The experience resembles an aquatic treadmill, and its use is common in training or limited spaces.
This is a recreated fight between a samurai and a knight, two warriors from different eras and cultures, but with deadly martial skills. It is interesting to note the differences in their fighting styles. Normally, a samurai constantly changes his attack stance after delivering strikes, seeking to keep his opponent off balance. Sometimes he ends with the sword pointing downward, and then, depending on movement and tactical necessity, changes the position of the sword upward or to the sides. This reflects the fluidity and adaptability of kenjutsu, the art of the samurai sword. In the United States, especially in rural areas, it is common for families to build cabins in an amateur way. This method allows for cost savings and offers the satisfaction of building with one's own hands. Many use prefabricated construction kits that include materials and precise instructions. These kits can be assembled with basic tools and without professional experience. Specialized companies and online sales platforms have boosted their popularity. The trend reflects interest in practical and accessible solutions. In Lake Baikal, Russia, a curious natural phenomenon known as Baikal Zen occurs. It consists of stones that appear to float on ice pedestals during winter. Solar radiation warms the stones, slowly melting the ice directly beneath them. This process leaves a colder base that supports the stone in balance. Wind also contributes to the erosion of the surrounding ice. Although rare, it has been photographed and documented by observers and specialized media.
Drone soccer was developed in South Korea and made its international debut in 2018. It is played in teams of 3 or 5 people, where only one drone is authorized to score by passing through the opposing team's ring. The other drones are responsible for blocking and providing strategic support. Each drone is enclosed in a protective carbon fiber sphere that allows safe collisions. This design minimizes damage and turns the sport into a controlled form of aerial contact. The discipline is regulated by the World Air Sports Federation.
These are the orbits of Jupiter's moons. To date, at least 79 satellites have been counted, and they are divided into 4 groups. 4 inner satellites that are medium-sized and closer to the planet. Then come the 4 Galilean satellites, which are the largest and the first to be discovered. 10 regular satellites that are small and have large orbits. Finally, the retrograde satellites, which are extremely small. Some of them measure only 0.62 miles in diameter.
Asteroid hyalosis, also known as Benson's disease, is a benign eye condition characterized by small white or yellow particles that float in the vitreous humor and have a shiny, asteroid-like appearance. These particles are mainly composed of calcium and lipids and usually do not affect vision or cause symptoms. It is often detected incidentally during routine eye examinations. The condition does not require treatment, except in very rare cases where it interferes with clinical tests.
This striking visual phenomenon is known as the Kelvin-Helmholtz instability. It forms when there is an interaction between 2 fluids moving at different speeds, creating waves that resemble ocean swells. We can see this type of instability in the atmosphere, where it forms spectacular clouds with wavy shapes, or in space, at the interfaces of nebulae and the layers of giant gaseous planets. It is a visual manifestation of the complex dynamics of fluids in nature.
Recorded in Pakistan, giant flatbreads can be seen that are likely chapati breads made with whole wheat flour. They are cooked on a cast iron griddle called a tava, although they are normally made smaller and folded into a triangular shape.
During Paris Fashion Week, Greek designer Celia Krithariotis presented a wedding dress with a veil held up by helium balloons as part of her spring-summer haute couture collection. The design was publicly displayed and stood out for its creativity and eye-catching visual effect.
Behold the magnificent Gothic armor of the 15th century, a true masterpiece of medieval metalwork. Extremely shiny and imposing, these suits of armor could be composed of more than 200 meticulously forged pieces. Every noble knight had a squire, a lifelong servant who not only helped him dress and clean the armor, but also bore the solemn responsibility of burying him if the knight died in battle. Although the knights who wore it proudly considered themselves almost invincible, the reality was more complex. Full armor weighed between 66 and 88 pounds, which caused mobility problems. The helmet, with its small slits, drastically reduced the knight's field of vision, making combat a claustrophobic experience.
Recorded in Long Beach, United States, this image documents a massive maritime congestion in the Pacific Ocean. What is observed is an immense line of cargo ships patiently waiting to unload their products at California ports. This type of maritime bottleneck, particularly severe in the period prior to major consumption events such as Black Friday, highlights the complexities and logistical challenges of the global supply chain, directly impacting the availability of goods and prices.
In February of 2021, Dubai projected images of the Martian moons Phobos and Deimos into the sky as part of a promotional campaign. The initiative celebrated the arrival of the Hope probe into Mars orbit. This mission was developed by the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center and funded by the United Arab Emirates Space Agency. The probe was launched in July of 2020 from Japan and arrived at Mars in February of the following year. Its main objective is to study the climate and atmosphere of the red planet.
China has established itself as the undisputed leader in global duck meat production, a sector vital to its economy and gastronomy. This dominance is impressive, as the Asian country accounts for approximately 60% of worldwide production of this meat. Its farms extend across several provinces, with Jiangsu, Shandong, and Zhejiang standing out as the main production centers.
China is home to some of the most impressive highways in the world, known for their monumental scale and complex engineering. Many of these roads are not simple ground-level routes, but elevated structures that wind through diverse landscapes, from dense cities to mountainous terrain.
The Palais Bowls, known as the Bubble Palace, is located in Thule-sur-Mer near Cannes, France, and was designed between the 1970s and 1980s by the Hungarian architect Antti Lovag, who sought to break away from traditional forms through spherical and organic structures. This futuristic residence was acquired by French designer Pierre Cardin in the early 1990s and used as both a home and a space for fashion presentations.
These clouds that look so real are actually computer-generated artistic creations. They are not just for digital decoration. Some artists even use these virtual clouds to train artificial intelligences to recognize weather patterns or to simulate complex atmospheric conditions in animated films and video games. In Japan, school lunch is much more than just food. It is a life lesson. Served by the students themselves, it fosters responsibility and teamwork from an early age. The menus, rich in rice, fish, vegetables, and soups, reflect the country's dedication to healthy eating. It is no surprise that Japan is considered one of the countries with the best nourished populations in the world, with a low rate of childhood obesity and a remarkably high life expectancy.
Meet Turning the Place Over, an incredible sculpture by the English architect Richard Wilson located in Liverpool. This piece transforms an empty building into a striking visual experience. Wilson used a section of the building's facade, including windows and doors, and rotated it 90 degrees, creating the illusion that the interior has tipped outward. It is a bold artistic intervention that challenges our perception of space and conventional architecture. It may appear that the bird emits flashes of electricity, but science says otherwise. The high humidity in the environment, visible in the cloudy sky, quickly dissipates any static charge the bird might generate. In addition, the creation of electrical discharges such as lightning requires massive energy fields that an animal could not produce. Therefore, it is extremely unlikely that the bird is emitting electricity. Most likely, it is a visual effect of the video. Sheep move in groups due to their gregarious instinct, which helps protect them from predators. It is common for younger ones to follow older sheep that know better feeding routes. Sometimes they walk in single file across farmland, following soil furrows. These lines guide their movement due to comfort and terrain shape, not conscious preference.
These ice formations underwater are not clouds or forest, but ice forming during low tide. This phenomenon is known as phrasal ice, which consists of fine ice crystals that form in turbulent water. These particles cluster together, resulting in a surreal underwater landscape that looks like a cotton field.
These are the extra and precarious seats on the roof of public transportation in the Congo. Although traveling this way is cheaper and allows passengers to enjoy the scenery and escape the scorching heat inside the vehicle, it is extremely dangerous. The risks include falling off the roof, colliding with branches or low structures, and exposure to the elements. It is a desperate practice that reflects the lack of safe and affordable transportation options in some regions. Although the Lunar New Year is the most important celebration in China, the Western New Year is also celebrated in cities such as Shanghai. In 2025, public shows with drones, lights, and fireworks were held, attracting thousands of people. These events usually take place in emblematic areas such as Baoshan Port or the Longhua Temple. Although the scale is smaller, they are part of the urban calendar and reflect growing cultural openness. Some fish can associate human presence with food, especially in controlled environments where they are fed regularly. Examples of this habituation are observed in species such as koi in Japan or certain fish in protected areas of Turkey. Recent studies show that some fish are capable of recognizing human faces and following specific divers. The famous Swiss chocolate Toblerone is inspired by the iconic Matterhorn mountain. Its triangular shape represents the peaks of the Swiss Alps, and the image of a hidden bear within the logo is a tribute to Bern, the city of origin of Toblerone. Handcrafted blown glass is an ancient technique that originated in Syria around the 1st century before Christ. It involves shaping molten glass with a hollow tube by blowing air to form it while it is hot. Artisans work at high temperatures, combining precision and creativity.
This technique allows for the creation of unique pieces with detailed designs and customized finishes. It is used to make everything from decorative objects to functional utensils. This is how an escalator is safely stopped. What is observed is an automatic safety system designed to stop movement in case of an emergency. This system is activated when undue pressure is applied to the handrails, which may have pressure sensors, or when the steps mesh incorrectly at the end of the escalator, triggering a safety mechanism to prevent accidents or serious damage.
Zain Safuyolu, at just 5 years old, reached a speed of approximately 194 miles per hour in a Lamborghini Revuelto. He achieved this feat on a racetrack under the supervision of his father, Kenan Safuyolu. Kenan is a former motorcycle racer with multiple championships to his name. This impressive record made him the fastest child in the world. The Hammerschwand elevator is located in Bergenstock, Switzerland, and is the tallest outdoor elevator in Europe. It was inaugurated in 1905 and reaches a height of 502 feet. It connects the Felsenweg Trail with the Hammerschwand viewpoint at more than 3,707 feet above sea level. It is part of the Bergenstock Resort Complex located on the mountain summit. From its elevated structure, the optical phenomenon known as the Brockenspector or glory can occasionally be observed. This consists of a circular rainbow surrounding the projected shadow of a figure.
Ctenophores are gelatinous marine animals found in all the world's oceans except Antarctica. They have varied shapes, including spherical or oval structures. Many are bioluminescent and emit light through internal chemical reactions. Their transparent bodies produce iridescent reflections thanks to rows of moving cilia. They are an essential part of gelatinous plankton. Their presence indicates functional and complex marine ecosystems.
Perpetual motion machines are hypothetical devices that would operate without interruption and without an external energy source, which is impossible due to the fundamental principles of thermodynamics, specifically the second law, which states that energy always degrades and cannot be created or destroyed. Any machine that appears to defy these laws, like the one shown, operates with the help of hidden mechanisms, such as discretely placed magnets that provide the necessary impulse to maintain its apparent endless motion.
The short film titled Projections in the Forest was created by the German artists Friedrich van Schoor and Tarek Mawad. The project consists of a video mapping installation that visually recreates a bioluminescent forest through digital projections onto plants and fungi. The work was developed after 6 weeks of work in a real natural environment without using added special effects.
The Sorisniva Ice Hotel is located in Alta Norme and is rebuilt every winter using snow and ice. Although the exterior can reach up to 40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, the interior remains between 25 and 19 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Wind insulation improves thermal comfort, but proper clothing and thermal sleeping bags are required. The experience includes ice sculptures, artistic lighting, and accommodation in carved rooms. The price per night varies, but can range between $300 and $500.
In Russia, near the village of Kamenka, there is Kudinova Gora Park with a sculpture of Smiagol Golem. This 49-foot dragon has 3 heads that breathe fire during special shows. The creature comes from Slavic folklore and appears in Russian tales. It is depicted with 2 large hind legs, 2 smaller front legs, and a green body. Danis Ranchi is a visual artist known for his striking animations. His works play with perception and create optical illusions that deceive the human eye. He uses digital techniques to simulate depth, movement, and the transformation of objects. His animations make us see things that are not really there. Although he does not reveal all his methods, the result is visually impactful.
This is not just any bicycle. It is the self-balancing swan bicycle, an innovative creation by the Chinese engineer Ji Huijun. What makes it exceptional is its ability to ride by itself without the need for human propulsion. Its secret is a precision gyroscope that gives it perfect balance. In addition to being electric, it is equipped with advanced sensors that allow it to detect and avoid obstacles, marking a milestone in personal and autonomous vehicle technology.
This is translucent concrete, invented by the Mexican company Concretos Translúcidos. Its components are more durable underwater than conventional concrete, an attribute that makes it ideal for submerged architectural projects. One of its most curious applications is its ability to let light pass through, allowing it to be illuminated from within to create luminous effects or even to save energy in buildings that incorporate it.
Petit Forest is a moss terrarium designed to maintain a mini ecosystem.
Its vertical structure allows the moss to grow in an orderly way. Humidity is essential for its preservation, and watering can be done using water vapor.
In western Thailand, boats known as longtail boats are used, adapted to navigate rivers and shallow areas. Their design includes diesel engines mounted on open frames with a long shaft that transmits power to the propeller. Some modified versions use car engines to compete in informal races. These boats can reach notable speeds. Recorded in Italy, this floating marvel is the Violin of Venice, affectionately known as Noah's violin. More than a simple vessel, it is a floating stage designed to host classical music concerts, offering a unique cultural experience as it travels through the picturesque main canals of the historic city. This giant violin, often seen at special events, merges musical art with Venetian charm in a truly unforgettable way.
The La Corona soap factory, located in Ecatepec, state of Mexico, produces zote soap in pink, white, and blue colors, as well as its liquid version. Each day, up to 2 million bars are manufactured. Its production reaches approximately 37.5 short tons per hour on a continuous basis. Despite not investing in advertising, zote soap is sold in the United States and in other countries across the continent. Its quality and tradition have driven its popularity. In Cambodia, some people use slingshots to break branches from small trees or to hunt birds. Although this tool is common in rural areas, it does not originate from prehistory as claimed in some texts. Modern slingshots emerged in the 20th century by taking advantage of rubber elasticity to launch projectiles. Their design is based on principles similar to those of slings, which do have ancient origins. A ferrofluid clock uses ferromagnetic particles suspended in liquid that respond to magnetic fields. In do-it-yourself projects, models have been created where magnets or electromagnets form visible figures or numbers. Some designs display the time through animations controlled by sensors. This energetic canine is a border collie, a herding dog for sheep or goats, famous for its intelligence and agility. There are two main types of herding dogs: guardians, which defend livestock from predators, and controllers, like the border collie, which manage herds with precise movements and intense stares. Their herding instinct is so strong that they are often seen herding their human families or even other animals at home. They are loyal and highly active companions that require plenty of exercise and mental stimulation.
This is the fearsome 7-star Via Ferrata in Yunyang, China. Although at first glance it may look like a dangerous fall, it is designed for tourism and is surprisingly safe. The routes are completed using harnesses and 3 carabiners that are clipped onto a steel cable. These routes, whose name means iron path in Italian, originated in the Alps during the First World War to facilitate troop movement through mountainous terrain.
In Bogotá, there is the themed restaurant De Bucatari, decorated with visual references to horror movie characters such as Freddy Krueger, Pennywise, and Hannibal Lecter, and known for its dishes inspired by Viking banquets. Its name refers to the Romanian word for kitchen. The atmosphere aims to offer an immersive experience for horror film fans, combining gastronomy with unsettling scenery.
Beer gardens are outdoor beer gardens typical of Bavaria, Germany, with roots and underground cellars where beer was stored. To keep it cool, chestnut trees were planted to provide shade and regulate the surrounding temperature. These areas evolved into social and cultural spaces where local beers are served. Since 1812, it has been a tradition to allow visitors to bring their own food. This practice, known as Brotzeit, is supported by Bavarian regulations. Beer gardens still preserve their historical essence and encourage social interaction.
Recorded in China, this is a traffic jam caused mainly by trucks transporting watermelons. China is the world's largest producer of watermelons, accounting for more than half of the annual global volume. It is followed by countries such as Turkey, Iran, Brazil, and Mexico. These transports are common during harvest seasons due to high domestic consumption. Watermelon is a fruit of great economic and cultural value in several Asian regions.
This is the tallest stack of cars in the world. The record was broken by the Chinese car brand Chery. It measures approximately 36 feet. In total, 7 cars were stacked, one on top of another.
The Neo Geo AES console was released by the Japanese company SNK in 1990. At that time, its initial price was $650 in the United States. This cost made it the most expensive home console of its era. It was designed to offer an experience identical to that of arcade video games. Adjusted for inflation, that price would be equivalent to more than $1,500 today.
The ropes are most likely attached to the hood from underneath. It is the same principle used by any panel beater to straighten metal.
Modern tickets are usually printed on thermal paper that reacts to heat without ink. The text appears when heat is applied to the treated side of the paper, generally the shinier one. That is why intense heat can erase the print. Pure alcohol can also alter the reactive layer and make the data disappear.
Admire the delicacy and ingenuity of leaf art. This unique form of artistic expression consists of creating intricate works on the surface of natural leaves. It is very likely that these talented artists begin their process by tracing the design on the back of the leaf before proceeding with cutting or engraving. Among the most recognized figures in this discipline are the Kazakh Kenat Mortazin, the Iranian Omid Asadi, and the Spanish artist Lorenzo Duran, who have elevated this technique to a level of true mastery.
Recorded in the United States, two skydivers perform a base jump from a wind turbine blade. These blades are around 197 feet high. It can be seen how the blade one of them walks on begins to bend under his weight. This phenomenon is completely normal, since turbine blades are designed to be flexible and withstand strong wind gusts without breaking. In India, some women born under the astrological influence of Mars, known as Mongol dosha, perform a symbolic ritual marriage with trees. The practice seeks to neutralize the bad luck they are believed to bring when marrying a man. The tree, usually a banana tree or a Ficus religiosa, acts as the first husband and is cut down after the ritual. This tradition is based on Vedic astrology and is still preserved in some rural sectors. An extraordinary case. A man has a prosthetic eye that lights up the room. He lost his natural eye after surgery and now uses a titanium eye prosthesis with an integrated light-emitting diode. Remarkably, this prosthesis apparently does not heat up, and the battery can last up to 20 hours, allowing him to illuminate his surroundings in a very unique way. It is an astonishing example of how technology can improve people's lives.
Kathakali is a traditional form of dance theater originating in Kerala, India, with centuries of history. Its performers recount Hindu myths such as the Ramayana without speaking, using gestures, facial expression, and body movements. To do so, they master more than 500 mudras, codified hand gestures. The training is extensive and demands precise muscular control, especially of the face and eyes. The training also includes singing, makeup, and martial arts. The Oval Gardens of Nærum are located on the outskirts of Copenhagen, Denmark, and were designed by Carl Theodor Sorensen between 1948 and 1949 as community gardens. The complex consists of 50 oval plots of approximately 861 square feet each, surrounded by hedges. Its landscape design has been widely admired for its visual harmony and urban integration.
Emergency siren lights are blue and red because of their high visibility. Red is associated with warning and danger, which captures drivers' attention. Blue stands out better in darkness and fog, making it easier to identify at a distance. The combination of both colors allows emergency vehicles to be easily recognized in traffic. This helps other drivers react quickly and yield. Their use is standardized in many countries to ensure effectiveness.
It is truly astonishing how this store not only prevents water from leaking through, but also has the incredible strength to withstand all that hydraulic energy. Recorded in Brazil, a kite-surfing surfer jumps over an island that is actually the tip of a peninsula about 427 feet wide. With enough favorable wind, it would be possible to jump even larger land areas. During a religious baptism, 2 luminous halos were observed over people in the river, which some attendees interpreted as the appearance of angels. Although they claimed to see them with the naked eye, there is no scientific evidence supporting a supernatural manifestation. Experts suggest the effect is due to light reflections on white clothing under conditions of fog or water vapor, which could amplify the brightness. This video shows a do-it-yourself levitating clock created with magnets, sensors, and digital components. The structure includes a floating sphere that in some designs indicates the seconds. The time can appear in digital format on a fixed base.
The steel pan is a metallic drum that originated in Trinidad and Tobago during the 20th century. It emerged as a creative response to colonial restrictions on the use of traditional drums. Although it developed in the Caribbean, it incorporates African influences in its technique and aesthetics. It is made from industrial barrels tuned by specialized percussionists.
In the Baltistan region of Pakistan lies K2, the second highest mountain in the world and one of the most difficult to climb. During expeditions, mountaineers often tie their tents together to withstand the wind at high-altitude camps. In extreme conditions, they may partially cover them with snow to improve insulation.
The Xenasthus tarantula and the Oaxaca frog form an unusual symbiotic relationship. The frog consumes insects such as ants that could damage the tarantula's eggs. In return, the spider offers shelter and protection from predators such as snakes and other arthropods. This bond has been observed in the Pastaza River region and has been documented by biologists.
Every autumn, Madrid celebrates the Festival of Transhumans to highlight the traditional movement of livestock along drovers' roads. This route is protected by the Drovers Roads Law of 1995, which recognizes these paths as public domain. Although it is not limited to winter, the practice of transhumans involves seeking milder climates during that season. The event brings together thousands of sheep, shepherds, and curious onlookers in the heart of the urban center. It originated in 1994 as a cultural and environmental statement.
This is the shortest elevator ride in the world. It is located at the Tutzing station in Germany and rises only 4 inches. Vapor projectors create a water screen onto which images and videos are projected. They use fine particles of water or smoke to generate a semi-transparent surface. This creates the sensation that the images are floating in the air. In the United States, it is common to see raccoons eating fruit in trees, such as apples. These animals possess a tapetum lucidum, an ocular layer that reflects light and improves night vision. That is why their eyes shine when illuminated, just like in cats and dogs. The raccoon is primarily nocturnal, although it may show crepuscular activity depending on the environment. This eye reflection is an evolutionary adaptation for hunting and moving in the dark.
The cleaner shrimp is a species that feeds by removing parasites from other fish. To attract clients, it moves its legs and antennae in a striking gesture. Before beginning, it makes sure the fish will not attack it. It then climbs onto the fish and cleans its skin, removing parasites and debris. This process benefits both, as the fish is freed of parasites and the shrimp obtains food. Its behavior is key in marine ecosystems.
In Guadalajara, Mexico, the firm Hernández Silva Arquitectos designed a bathroom with a glass floor. It is located on the 15th floor of a building constructed in the 1970s. During its remodeling, a shaft for an elevator that was never installed was discovered. In that space, a half bathroom was built that allows viewing all 15 levels of the empty shaft. The visual effect went viral due to its extreme design. The glass floor is safe and structurally designed to support weight.
When a part of the body falls asleep, it means that a nerve is compressed or blood flow has been interrupted. This prevents nerve signals from traveling properly, causing a tingling sensation. This sensation, called paresthesia, occurs when the nerve begins to recover and signals start flowing again. It is common after staying in the same position for a long time, such as sitting on a leg or sleeping with an arm bent. It usually disappears when posture changes and circulation is restored. Although uncomfortable, it is usually temporary and not a serious problem.
To create a fire and smoke tornado inside a soap bubble, the bubble needs strength, so it is made with soap and glycerin. Then gas is added and a smaller secondary bubble filled with smoke is created. Air is blown into the large bubble to form a swirl, and they are joined. A finger at the top helps direct the vortex.
On an island in southwestern Finland, the family of entrepreneur Martin Mikos used a small rowing boat to push a large ice floe that was approaching their dock. The scene was recorded by his wife using a drone and went viral due to how unusual the gesture was.
This scene in which drivers in Los Angeles abandon their cars to flee a fire is a sad reflection of the increase in wildfires in California. Firefighters often have to use tow trucks to clear the streets and allow fire engines and emergency vehicles to pass, a task made more difficult by the large number of abandoned cars blocking the way.
The Greyhound is the fastest dog breed in the world. Its speed can reach up to 43 miles per hour. The English Greyhound is especially fast and is designed to run long distances. In comparison, the Spanish Greyhound reaches approximately 37 miles per hour.
Recorded in New York, United States, this video was computer-generated for the organization City Harvest. Its main goal is a crucial message, to remind people of the importance of not wasting food, especially during the holiday season. City Harvest is a leading organization in the fight against hunger, dedicated to rescuing surplus food and distributing it to those who need it most.
Koi Garden Coffee is located in District 5 of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. The cafe stands out for having tables installed inside shallow ponds where koi fish swim. Although the tables do not float, they are surrounded by water, creating a unique visual sensation. Customers can feed the fish from their seats while enjoying their drinks. It is also possible to submerge feet in the water as part of the experience. The atmosphere combines relaxation, contact with nature, and original design. Some designers use balloons as the main material to create dresses. This technique is known as globology and is used in fashion shows and ephemeral art. Although eye-catching, these designs are not practical for daily use. They are considered artistic creations rather than functional garments. During the holiday season, LEGO sales reach impressive figures worldwide. It is estimated that approximately 28 sets are sold per second around the globe. This figure has been mentioned in popular media and specialized toy websites. Although it doesn't come from a recent official report, it is consistent with the brand's global popularity. Recorded in Qilong, China, this rain of colors consists of hundreds of drones landing on the ground. It was a show held to commemorate the Asian Games in the city. Chanel No. 5 is an iconic fragrance created in 1921 by Coco Chanel. Its formula contains jasmine, May rose, ylang ylang, and sandalwood. It also includes aldehydes that give it its distinctive scent. It is one of the most famous and best-selling fragrances in history. Its design and composition revolutionized perfumery. With its elegance and sophistication, it remains a timeless classic. In the year 2019, Egypt organized a massive iftar to celebrate the end of Ramadan. The event took place in the new administrative capital near Cairo. A table more than 1.86 miles long was set up with more than 6,000 diners. The goal was to break the Guinness record for the longest iftar table. Water-filled pig squishies are common sensory toys because of their soft texture and relaxing effect. They are made from materials such as silicone or gel and are sold through online stores. This is the Great Elephant of Nantes, created by the French workshop La Machine. It is 39 feet tall and can carry up to 49 passengers. Seacliff State Beach, located in Aptos, California, is known for its coastal scenery. It is common to observe many seagulls in the area due to its proximity to the ocean and fishing activity. Security keys for faucets block the flow of water to prevent unauthorized use, especially outdoors. They are easy to install and feature a lock that requires a key to release the flow. They are useful in public spaces, shared housing, or businesses. For this experiment, candle wicks or cotton wicks were used, which, without the wax, burn much faster, and the tree must be artificial and fire-resistant. These wicks, which look like simple threads, have a special structure and braiding that allow them to absorb liquid wax by capillary action, a process that enables candles to burn steadily and evenly. Korean Concept created a high-speed pencil sharpener as part of an experiment. They modified a sharpener with power tools to increase its speed. In less than 1 second, the pencil is reduced to sawdust. Recorded in China, these cars left the roadway due to the dangerous combination of a sharp curve and black ice, a thin and transparent layer of ice that is almost invisible on asphalt. This phenomenon is a common cause of accidents in northern regions of China, where low temperatures are extreme. The eggs of some salamanders have a gelatinous and transparent texture. Throughout their development, they go through several stages before hatching. This type of reproduction is common in many amphibians. In Albacete, Spain, a strong gust of wind lifted a massive sandstorm. The phenomenon was caused by a heat wave that made hot air circulate with greater force than usual in the city. At first glance, this house looks ordinary, but inside its walls is the largest indoor aquarium in Europe. You can even dive inside it. This cocktail with a vapor cloud is prepared using a specialized gun called a flavor blaster. The device injects an aromatic bubble over the drink, using a vaporized mixture with edible essences. The bubble is formed with vegetable glycerin that is safe for consumption. This visual effect has become popular in bars and special events. The professional version of the device costs around $10 online. The Dragon of Calais is a self-propelled machine designed by François de la Rosière. It was built specifically for the city of Calais in northern France. Since 2019, it has traveled through the streets as an urban attraction. It measures 82 feet long and 39 feet high and carries passengers during its performances. The machine belongs to the company La Machine, known for its mechanical shows. A jellyfish bloom is a massive and localized increase in their population that can affect ecosystems and coastal activities. These events are often linked to rising temperatures or changes in salinity. Jellyfish gather in large numbers near the surface. They can cause problems for tourism, fishing, and industrial facilities.
Marcello Barenghi is an Italian illustrator known for his hyper-realistic drawings that simulate three-dimensional objects through mixed techniques, such as pencil, marker, and airbrush. His works generate the illusion of depth and volume, appearing real at first glance. This visual effect, commonly called three-dimensional drawing, is achieved without using digital modeling, but through precise shading and perspective.
The Carrousel des Mondes Marins is a mechanical attraction located on the island of Nantes, France. It has a diameter of 72 feet and is nearly 82 feet tall. It houses 35 underwater creatures that can be activated by visitors.
Jabari Noble holds the record for performing the highest number of pull-ups with one leg and two balls, 35 in total. The Yangwang U8 is a luxury electric SUV manufactured by BYD. Its design allows it to float in water for up to 30 minutes in emergencies. It is equipped with 4 electric motors, one in each wheel. This gives it independent traction and exceptional performance. It can handle difficult terrain with advanced technology.
The Zongshuge bookstore, located in Dujiangyan near Chengdu, China, was designed by the studio X Plus Living and stands out for its mirrored ceilings, curved shelves, and optical illusions inspired by the works of the Dutch artist Maurits Cornelius Escher. Its design creates an immersive atmosphere that transforms the reading experience into a visual journey.
Recording in Paris, France, a motorcycle drives by itself on a highway. The rider fell accidentally several yards back, leaving the throttle stuck with enough inertia, space, and well-directed handlebars. A motorcycle can travel on its own for miles.
This squishy ball of yolks is a stress relief toy made of polyurethane foam. Although it is sold under unusual names such as Vomit, its purpose is to relieve tension through tactile stimulation. The soft and elastic texture of these toys became popular as a way to help reduce anxiety in both adults and children.
This video, filmed in Michigan in January of 2024, likely shows the explosion of an electrical transformer. This type of explosion is common during snowstorms, when ice and moisture can infiltrate the transformer, creating a short circuit that generates a buildup of pressure and heat, culminating in a flash and a loud bang. When the gate of a dam is opened after being closed for a long time, a large volume of accumulative water is released. This can cause strong turbulence and drag sediments into the lower channel. Pan Yusheng holds the Guinness record for cutting the longest strip from a single sheet of paper. He achieved the impressive length of approximately 354 feet in Beijing, China. The feat was accomplished on May 4, 2024. The beam is an attraction at the top of the Rock observation deck in New York. It is inspired by the famous 1932 photograph, Lunch Atop a Skyscraper. In the original image, workers appear seated on a beam during the construction of Rockefeller Center. The attraction recreates the scene in a safe way for visitors.
This peculiar vehicle, known as the banana car, was built by the Mutant brothers from a Ford truck. Despite its playful appearance, it is a real and road-legal vehicle that has been taken to various events and demonstrations throughout the United States.
These geese, likely Canada geese, migrate from Ontario, Canada to the southern United States in search of warmer climates and food. Their migration is a massive journey, carried out in a distinctive V formation. This formation is not only iconic, but also serves an aerodynamic purpose. It reduces air resistance for the birds flying behind the leader, helping them conserve energy on their long journey. This is Reynisfjara Black Beach in Iceland, a place of somber and spectacular beauty. Combined with snow, its distinctive black color is due to the fact that it is covered with volcanic ash and dark rocks of basaltic origin, formed by the island's volcanic activity. The imposing basalt columns and the powerful waves of the North Atlantic contribute to the dramatic atmosphere of this unique beach.
This is an umbrella with the corona effect, an electrical phenomenon caused by the ionization of air around a charged conductor. It occurs spontaneously on high-voltage power lines, where a faint buzzing can be heard, and even a subtle blue or violet glow can be seen, as ozone is generated. During heady rains in Pital, Costa Rica, some roads and uneven areas have flooded, affecting vehicle traffic. These situations occur frequently during the rainy season, when water overflows the edges of rural roads. The lack of adequate drainage increases the risk of sudden flooding.
In northern Greece, on the island of Thasos, there are white marble quarries recognized for their purity and exceptional whiteness. Among them, the Saliara quarry on Thasos stands out for its antiquity and extraction volume. These quarries have been exploited since ancient times and remain active today.
The jellyfish is an exotic cocktail that combines a base of white creme de cacao, amaretto, and Irish cream. Its distinctive visual effect, which evokes the tentacles of a jellyfish, is achieved by carefully adding grenadine syrup, which sinks and creates filaments through the layers of creamy liqueurs.
Observe the way an instant paint remover works. It adheres to the paint by causing it to swell. The increase in volume creates internal stresses and ruptures that cause weakening and separation of the surface layer.
The STOL competition, short takeoff and landing, is held in Alaska and brings together pilots skilled in high-precision maneuvers. The goal is to take off and land in the shortest possible distance. To achieve this, headwinds are used to improve aerodynamic lift. The aircraft are modified with flaps, slats, and special wing designs. This allows operation at low speed without losing stability.
Spider silk is one of the strongest materials in nature, with fibers stronger than Kevlar, the material used to make bulletproof vests, and capable of withstanding 5 times more tension than steel.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.